Hello my dear friends, welcome to Theory of Computation lecture series. We are on the topic of writing the normal form of a given context-free grammar. In this, we have seen that the context-free grammar, we can convert that into a normal form only when it is having three things which are not present in the grammar. So it is should not have a useless production, null production and the unit production. In this video, we are going to focus on the Chomsky normal form. Now Chomsky normal form is one type of normal form in which a context-free grammar is free from those three things, but also it is represented in a very simplified manner. Let us start the discussion by looking at the definition of Chomsky normal form, abbreviatedly called as CNF. A context-free grammar is said to be in Chomsky normal form if all production are in the following form. So a context-free grammar CFG is said to be in CNF if all the production follows this two particular given form. First is A tends to BC, where A, B and C, all the three are non-terminal symbols. So either your production should be of this form A tends to BC, where you have one single non-terminal on the left hand side and exactly two non-terminals on the right hand side, or it is of the form A tends to alpha, where alpha is a terminal symbol. That means the production is of the form where you have a single non-terminal on the left hand side and a single terminal symbol on the right hand side. So if your entire context-free grammar is having all the production in this particular form, then we can say that it is in Chomsky normal form. So there is an algorithm for this. That means for a context-free grammar, to convert that into a Chomsky normal form, we have this algorithm. The first step says, starting with a context-free language grammar with the preliminary simplification performed. So for a context-free grammar, first we have to do the simplification. That means we have to remove useless production, remove the null production and remove the unit production. For every terminal alpha that appears in the body of length 2 or more, create a new variable that has only one production. So for every terminal alpha, so all those terminals which are present in the productions on the right hand side having the length 2 or more, we have to make a new production with a new variable that is having only one thing, that is the one terminal on the right hand side. Arrange that all bodies of length 2 or more to consist only variables. So for all the productions which are having length of 2 or more on the right hand side, we have to convert every character present on the right hand side to be only variables. And the last step says, break the bodies of length 3 or more into a cascade of production, each with a body consisting of two variables. Now while breaking these bodies, we can do is break the bodies of length 3 or more by adding more variables. Okay, so this will get more clear when we will see an example. But here is an important note to be made of. We have to make sure that the start symbol, generally called as S, does not appear on the right hand side of any of the production. If so, add a new start symbol. So if there is a grammar given which is having start symbol on the right hand side, then we have to have another production added so that you have a new start symbol and the start symbol does not appear on the right hand side. Let us look at the example. So here is this grammar given. S tends to AX, BX. X tends to AY or BY or epsilon. Y tends to X or C. Now if we look at this grammar contains null production. It also contains the unit production. Y tends to X. So first step says we have to remove all these things. So we have to remove useless production, null production and unit production. So once that is done, now my dear friends, we have already seen there are videos in the playlist to convert the grammar having no null production and no unit production. So we already have this video available in the playlist. Kindly go through them. For the instance here, I have directly applied the concepts and we have this new grammar which is not having any useless production, not having any null production and not having any unit production. So here you can see that S tends to AX, BX, ABX or AXB or AB, AY, BY, AB, AY, BY, AB, C. So this grammar is converted to a grammar which is a simplified grammar free from useless production, null production and unit production. Now in this next step, we will be using only this grammar. So here we are interested in converting all the production into the form A tends to BC or A tends to alpha, where alpha is the terminal symbol and ABC are non-terminal symbol. Here is the grammar which is free from null production, unit production and useless production. Let us go for the step number 2. For every terminal alpha that appears in the body of length 2 or more. So here if we focus on this grammar, so there are basically 3 terminals, this small a, small b and small c. And here we have to focus only on those terminals which are present in the body of length 2 or more. So if we look at this, S tends to AX, BX. So here there are 2 terminals and the length of this is 4. So we have to look at this. Same way we have to look at ABX, AXB and AB. Okay. But we are not interested to look on X tends to the small a, X tends to small b, Y tends to small a, small b or small c, because these productions are already in the Chomsky normal form. You can see here it is A tends to alpha form. Okay, so we have to focus only on the rest of them. Now focusing here, we can see that this A and B, so there are 2 terminals A and B which are present. C is not present in any production of length 2 or more. So we have to add 2 new variables that has only one production. So I have named them variable as F and G. My dear friends, we have to be careful while we are creating a new variable, because we are not supposed to use the variables which already exist in the grammar. If we do so, then there can be a confusion and ambiguity created. So I have used 2 new variables F and G, and this production is F tends to A and G tends to B, and we have to add that into the grammar. So my new grammar will look like this. So these productions are already there and there are 2 productions added to the grammar. Let us move ahead. So for the next step, we have to take this newly created grammar. Look at this step number 3. Now arrange all bodies of length 2 or more to consist only of variables. So let us see how many of them are there. So we have to first focus on productions which are having length 2 or more. So there is this one production AX, BX, S tends to AX, BX. Then S tends to ABX, S tends to AXB, S tends to AB, S tends to X tends to AY, X tends to BY, y tends to ay, y tends to by. So we have to focus on this, and what we are supposed to do is that they should consist only variables. How can we do that? We have to do that by using this two new created production. So for every a and b which are having this property, length of 2 or more, should be replaced by this new variables f and g respectively. Let us look at this, how the grammar will look like after performing this step. So here this a is replaced by f because we have this production f tends to a. Same way this b is replaced by g. So the production s tends to ax bx is now s tends to fx gx. The same thing is done with the next production abx. So it is a is replaced with f, b is replaced with g, and x is as it is. So now this production s tends to abx has become s tends to fgx. Same way s tends to axb has become s tends to fxg. And this whole grammar is now converted in this property where on the right hand side it contains only variables or a single terminal. So if you look at this, we are moving ahead in converting it into this form where your right hand side is either two non-terminals or it is single terminal. So currently we have achieved this second part where it is single terminal. Now for this step number 4, that is the next step, we have to take this newly created grammar. So what does my step number 4 says? Step number 4 says break the bodies of length 3 or more into cascade of production, each with a body consisting of only 2 variables. Now in this cascading process, we have to add more variables. Let us see with this first example. So we are using this production s tends to fx gx. Now what does this says? We have to take the production of length 3 or more. Because of the length 2, this s tends to fg is already in CNF. So we should not focus on this. Instead, if we focus on this, we will do something wrong with the grammar. What we have to do is we have to just look at the productions having length of 3 or more on the right hand side, and we have to minimize that. Now what is to be done here is it is saying that we have to break this. So we have to break this fx gx into parts where it has only 2 variables. So what we will do is we will take this break as f is one part and xgx as second part. So my s tends to fz1. Now this second part xgx is given a new name z1, and this z1 is used here. So my s tends to fxgx is now become s tends to fz1, and this new variable z1 is having the production xgx. But again this xgx is of length 3 or more. So I have to again apply this step number 4 of breaking this body. So breaking this body is xgx. I will have x as one part and gx as second part. Hence my this z1 which is tends to xgx is now z1 gives xz2, and this z2 is nothing but gx. Okay, now we can see that my production s tends to fx gx is now having 3 parts. S tends to fz1, z1 tends to xz2, and z2 tends to gx. All these 3 productions are of this a tends to bc form, that is they are in CNF. Now my dear friends, what we have to do is we have to remove this s tends to fx gx, and instead we have to add these 3 productions here. So my new grammar will look like this. S tends to Fxgx is replaced with Fz1, and these two new productions are added. Z1 tends to Xz2 and Z2 tends to Gx. Now the same process we have to apply for all the productions having length 3 or more, and every step we have to take the new generated grammar for the application of next iteration. Here now we have to do is S tends to Fgx is one production that we have to work on, and S tends to Fxg is another production. Now here what I am doing is I am directly writing this as the final answer. So here my final answer will look like this. S tends to Fgx is now converted to S tends to Fz2, because if we look at this Gx, now Gx already exists in this. So why should I use another variable and add some complexity to the grammar? I can use this production as well. But if we look at this Xg, I don't have such production. So a new production Z3 tends to Xg is added, and this production S tends to Fxg becomes S tends to Fz3 and Z3 tends to Xg. All the other productions are in CNF, so we don't have to look at them, because the final grammar that we have obtained here is in the Chomsky normal form. I hope this example makes the algorithm very clear to you, my dear friends. In the video, we have seen the Chomsky normal form, the definition of it, and we have understood it with an example. Now, Chomsky normal form is very important for the implementation purpose, my dear friends. There are a lot of uses that we will cover some later videos. So thank you for watching this video, my dear friends. Stay tuned for more videos on Theory of Computation lecture series.